like that. Yeah, we had movie night on Friday, and it was a good movie. Did you see Wonka? I know you guys saw it. It's a good movie. So the title of today's message is This Glorious Day. And what a glorious day it is, right? Sharon? Think so? Yes. In many ways. I'm going to start with a Bible verse. This is Acts 17:6. It says, Acts 17:6 says, but when they did not find them, this is Paul and Silas are traveling around from city to city. I think they were in Corinth. When they did not find them, Paul and Silas, they dragged Jason and some brethren to the rulers of the city, crying out, those who have turned the world upside down have come here too. So Jason is, they're meeting in Jason's house. Jason is a Christian in this city. I believe it was Corinth. And the brethren, of course, would be the Christians in this city. And but when they did not find Paul and Silas, they dragged Jason and some of the brethren to the rulers of the city, crying out, those who have turned the world upside down have come here too. I love that. They turned the world upside down. This is just a short time after Jesus had been crucified. And, of course, the disciples, after Jesus' crucifixion, were ready to give up. They thought, it's over. That's it, the end of the ministry. It stops here. But no, a few years later, especially through Paul, who was personally, awakened, confronted by Jesus, is going around the world. And the Jewish people don't always receive him. Some Jews do, and some Jews drag him to the rulers of the city. So what does he do, Mark?
I don't know. Enlighten us.
He testifies to the Gentiles. He spreads the gospel to the Gentiles. This is a turning point. When you get to the middle point of Acts, it all changes, and the ministry is no longer just for the Jews. It spreads to the Gentiles, and the Gentiles are on fire. They're receiving it. They're excited by what's going on. Jason, Acts goes on to say, Jason has harbored them, and these are all acting contrary to the decrees of Caesar, saying there is another king, Jesus. So they risk, Paul and these Christians will risk their very lives to testify to this amazing truth that Jesus had brought. Paul, in a previous verse, says, in your temples, it says, to an unknown God. But the unknown God that you're talking about, this is He. This is God whom we're testifying to. It's not just me. All of us are often beset by anxieties. And my life of faith is like this. It goes up and down like crazy. And I wake up in the middle of the night wondering, what am I going to talk about in my sermon? It's not ready, and it's Sunday morning. I'm still not sure what I'm going to talk about. How am I going to pay my bills? What about my children? My relationships? What about the war in Ukraine? And you just get overwhelmed sometimes. So I made this conscious decision. I'm going to begin every day by saying, today's going to be a great day. Today's going to be a glorious day. First, I have to get through the morning devotion. And the morning devotion it's getting better. I've finally embraced it. It just didn't fit in my schedule for a long time, but I realized that that's just an excuse. And now I look forward to the morning devotion, especially just spending time with brothers and sisters. And if you go to the morning devotion, right, Sharon, you feel like, it's make an offering of the day. I mean, if everything else goes to hell the rest of the day, but you've offered something to God to begin the day, and that makes a huge difference. Jack is on the morning devotion in his truck. He's driving around in his truck. He's on the morning devotion. And he's got so many blessings from Bishop Dudley, who says, he often refers to, just have a safe drive. God's help. In Psalms 118:24, it says, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." So God gives us this blank canvas every morning and says, "Here, make something beautiful." We just have unlimited freedom. That's not true in every country, but here it is. Almost unlimited freedom to do whatever we want, to use our creativity to make an offering to God. The point is to find something every day that gives us hope. And we live in a world of hopelessness. So where do we turn for hope? Where do you turn for hope?
To each other, to God, to the sunshine.
Okay. And our mission is impossible. No one can do everything that we're asked to do. Not one of us can do it. Anyone can? It's just so much. And then Jesus comes along and he says, "You must be perfect." Good luck with that. And what does true Father say? He says, not only must you be perfect, your whole family must be perfect. And still not enough. Then your whole community has to be perfect. And then your whole nation. And then the whole world. It's not possible.
I was going to say define perfect.
Yeah.
Depends how you define perfect.
Okay.
It's perfect with a
You
small
can
p.
define it down. Down a little bit. Not Jesus level of perfect. Not true Father's level of perfect, but my level of perfect. Don't put your hope in politicians. They'll let you down. It's the religious leaders who must lead the world to peace. Don't put your hope in America. Why did Father come to America? To warn us. God is leaving America. Did anything change? Did we get better since Father came to America to give a warning? Put your hope, as Mark said, in God. We all get overwhelmed sometimes. Dr. Ashiel says that we have areas of influence and areas of concern. The areas of concern are things we can't control, like the war in Ukraine. All we can do is pray. I thought I could do more than pray. I had this brilliant idea. I said, I'm going to organize a shuttle to send ammunition to Ukraine. I thought, everybody's going to get on board. Everybody will support this. And then I asked Reverend Saunders if he could help me with that, and he said, you know what? You would need the approval of the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, ATF. I gave up. And then there are areas of influence, and these are the things we can control, like spending time with each other, like going to the Sunday service, worshiping together, visiting churches, tithing. These are things we can control. We get asked to do so many things, and as a pastor, I can tell you that it's a lot. And so that's why I don't do everything. Right? Because I'm mostly, I'm especially concerned about the local congregation, but all these things we're asked to do. We're asked to do a 2-hour prayer. That's what Korea's doing right now. They're doing a 2-hour evening prayer vigil. It's a great idea. We should do that. And I asked one of my pastor friends, Jim Boothby, our friend, Reverend Boothby, what do you think about all these new directions we're getting? And he said, the longer he does this, the less me is in my response. So it's not like, it's nothing about me. This is what God is asking. And he just does it. I have a lot of respect for him. So I used to be a young man. I think. I was young at one time, not too. And I just did whatever I wanted to do. And then I arrived at a point in my life when I was what?
Hopeless.
Hopeless.
Yeah.
Nothing was working for me. And then my spiritual father threw me a lifeline. And I found hope in Father's teachings and in this community of believers. That's where I found hope. And that's where hope still exists. In Father's teachings and in this faith community. But sometimes I wonder, has the Unification Church lost its way? And who shall we follow? True Father or true Mother? Are they divided or are they one?
They're one.
Thank you. I think Mother said I heard from Dr. Shield, but I think he was conveying Mother's words when he said, we need to decide who we're going to follow and decide today. If we go to the
Chungshimwan.
Chuncheon, thank you. If we go to the Chuncheon, True Mother said, if we go to the Chuncheon and pray, who will speak to you directly?
True Father.
True Father will speak to us directly. And he'll tell us what to do. Because this world's hope is us. Father spoke to the Japanese members and he said, when I am gone, follow True Mother. When True Mother is gone, follow True Children. I do sense that a spiritual revival is coming to America, that the conditions are right, that it's necessary, that it's going to happen because it has to happen, because God needs that to happen. And I could see us, unificationists, leading that revival, but only if we're united. God works through unity. Otherwise, God will use our Christian brethren to lead his revival. So when I say go to God and have a showdown prayer, I'm talking to myself too. And we want God to guide us, and I want you to know that America is praying for you. Please join me for a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we're just so grateful that we can be together this morning for a short time. We pray that we can feel your Spirit here, that we can see through your eyes, because as we see through your eyes, we know that the future is in your hands, and that whatever dark things are going on in the world are going on because we are at a critical moment. Mother said this is the last act, and we pray that it can be an act of us fulfilling what we were called here to do, what inspired us when we were young and idealistic and full of faith. Father, we pray that we can tap into that faith now to help us go through this difficult era, knowing that there's a lot of hope. We see a lot of things going on in our movement, and which give us hope that we can come out on the other side stronger, and especially as we take care of our young blessed families, we know that we give you hope, we give the world hope, and we thank you for that this morning so much. Thank you for being with us for this short time, and please be with us as we go out of this place into the world where we go like sheep among the wolves. But we do so, Father, with the confidence and the faith that you are always with us. Jesus is with us, and our true parents are with us, and we offer this time to you, praying in the name of the blessed central families.
Jew.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, Doug. Good to see you. All right. So we are, I'll just share this with you because they always put this in our mailbox about once every month or so. This is the Trinity Park News, because we are situated in Trinity Park.
Wow.
This is Trinity Park. It's right on the border with I forget where it's
Walltown?
Huh? Walltown. Yeah. So Walltown is our poorer neighbors, and Trinity Park is a relatively well-off area. In fact, they're having a Trinity Park garden tour Sunday, April 28th, 1 to 5 p.m., rain or shine. I think it costs $20, $25. But I wanted everybody to know that that's happening on April 28th. And also they had jokes in here. What's brown and sticky? You know what's brown and sticky? A stick.
Okay.
So I think we have a few announcements. Next Saturday, Samuel Mundala is going to lead a yoga class here. We have a yoga class here next Saturday at 7 p.m. I just want to encourage everybody to try to come. I mean, this is, we've tried so hard to get the young people involved, and this is something that he initiated. He's going to do it here. He used to do it in Winston-Salem with, with the Hutchersons. And so just, if you can, please turn out for a yoga night. And then those who want to play board games afterwards, we can do that too. Right? God, there's so much going on right now. Ann Nielsen is not here today. Usually she's going to have a 12 noon, not a 12, let's say a prayer in the,
We'll still do it.
yeah, and I'll join you. You want to do it right after the service? Or you want to do it at noon? We'll do it right after the service, right? Yes. Okay. I also have Death Valley Holy Salt, which I want to bequeath to those who want to receive it, and we'll do that before the service ends. It's the directions for me. The directions to multiply it were, I tried to get it exactly right. I had a lot of information from Dr. Shield and videos to watch and numerous things. So it had to be multiplied from Chinogu, Holy Salt. So it was. And it's said in my directions just have a simple bequeathing ceremony. So we'll do that. Stephanie, you've already got it, right? But who wants to receive Death Valley Holy Salt? Okay. 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 So we'll do that before we close.
Why do they call it Death Valley?
Oh, okay. So Mother was visiting Death Valley, and something special happened. It's a month or so by now. So they had prodigious rains. It rained a lot. Right. And when it rains a lot, the salt comes up to the surface, and it just lays on the surface like snow. And when Mother saw that, she said, this is amazing. I'm going to bring this back. We're going to make holy salt with it. And also, Death Valley, it symbolizes going to a very low place where you need God, where you call upon God. And the salt also represents purification. So, Death Valley. So, on Saturdays, there's a Divine Principle class with Henry Schaffler, and Ann is, she's helping with that, right? Saturdays from 10:30 to 11:30. So especially if you have guests that you want to introduce to Divine Principle, it's a great way to do so. Next, 2 weeks from today is Easter Sunday, so we'll meet at noon at Crabtree Lake for a picnic. And even though I really wish Gail were here, but we're going to still have an Easter egg hunt. And so this is a perfect opportunity. Let's invite all our young families to come. Last year, quite a few came. And I think Teresa Hide is going to prepare the main course, right? Burgers and hot dogs? Thank you. Big hand for this. Okay, so 2 weeks from today. Are there any more announcements? If not. Oh, yeah. Would you like to share something from the Blue Dragon Tour? Stephanie and Sharon?
Yeah, someone say something.
Okay.
Okay.